Somebody recap.
Okay.
We found the brain in a jar.
Brain in a jar.
And
Getty likes the brain for some reason.
And it was also Diego's original actual brain. That is
brain
presumably
brain number 1 that would theoretically, from what we know of things, be very, very old.
And it's also like one side is mushed up.
Yeah, pulpy.
Mm-hmm.
Did it look like that was something that has been like that for a while, or is that like because explosion?
That is with the nature of the container. It would have had to be like that, or the container would have had to shatter for it to be. If it wasn't, or if it were to be pulped recently, it would have had to been open, or you would know. So yeah, like if the container had been destroyed and smashed open, then you could be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's why it's pulped. But because it was perfectly sealed, it was fine.
And
it was like that when I found it, I swear.
We confirmed that Ben-Gedi, or at least we confirmed the theory in some ways, that it is possible that Ben-Gedi is adjusted brain in clone body?
Yeah, more or less. The potential for edited brain person is seemingly very high for young Bengo. So first order of business, if that's all for the recap that anyone is interested in.
There's a lot of other RP stuff happening. But it was like individual things.
And Amy or Kaya wanted to know what was in Ben-Gedi's basement or whatever.
Yes, actually.
Yes, I was
Kaya
hoping...
and Cosmic and Ben-Gedi went through his fucking storage room full of boxes of who knows what. I need to know. I need an inventory.
Okay, the inventory is like not actually important, but
it is though.
Within it, there I will give you the short list of a few notable things, and I will make a little handout for it so you can have it.
See, you forgot that the person that was asking this is the inventory gremlin of the group.
Yes.
And so she was expecting okay, in box 1 there's these 20 things, in box 2 there's these 5.
Listen, I gave you 2 weeks warning. I told you during that session and at the end of that session and halfway between last session and this session. I warned you.
And a couple days ago, too.
Yeah, I gave you so much warning. No.
And other people reminded you, because I know I reminded you at least once, and you're like, yeah, I've got it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew, so the reason why I was saying, yeah, I got it, is because it contained largely nothing of any significant import, but I was going to use the opportunity to add a few more little bits and bobs.
I think I care about plot relevant stuff. I want all of these little nitty-gritty things.
Down to the last paperclip.
Over 2 fucking weeks. Give me 2 weeks of time.
You got the wrong player searching for stuff. Sorry, Joe.
You think I care about anything plot relevant? No, I fucking don't.
If you just want to give the plot relevant stuff, you have to ask one of the rest of us.
Give me all of the wacky fucking invention rejects he made that Kaya can take and make better.
Oh, we're stealing Ben-Gedi's shit now?
No. She'll help him. She'll be like, hey, if you use this system instead of that one, and then you counter-rated it with this, it'd actually work.
Oh, I can tell you for a fact you didn't find anything extremely technological inside his boxes because he rooted through them to pull those things out. You'll find a bunch of stuff in there, and when you find it, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's why he didn't pull this out.
You said
he dug partway through it and then was like, there's nothing in here that is related to X thing, so I don't care, and he'll just ignore it.
You saying he rooted through it? I'm just imagining a fucking squirrel Ben-Gedi digging through these boxes.
Both of you just assume that's not exactly what it was.
But aside from that, you said the other roleplay moments that were happening were there any that I missed? Because I know the first order of business I had was media going to touch base with Tao Mei.
Is Cass going to be there too?
I was gonna say so if that would work
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, I'll invite Cass too.
I would like to clarify and ask a couple
Mhm.
things. So
Uh-huh.
I know we talked about the in between session. However, I forgot. And in the end of session notes, I talked about some of the game changes you were talking about making. I'd like to clarify, were those changes made or not? What did we decide as a group? For the full in-game day to get prep back, and the full week of work and get 1 to 2 cash depending on the job.
Yes. So prep will stay the same, unchanged.
Okay.
That was the
Okay.
consensus. So you get full prep at the beginning of a session based on your level, same as it ever was. And
Yeah.
then for income, you can generate income passively to sustain yourself, which is just by you basically don't do anything significant. If you want to generate extra cash for splurging, you can dedicate 2 full days of work to get 1 cash. That's 2 8-hour days worth of work.
How much cash?
1 cash. 1 cash per 2 days.
Okay.
So if you do a standard work week of effectively 4 to 5 days of working, you can get about 2 to 3 cash if you spend like over half of your week doing work.
Okay.
Which can there's still the upper limit based on burden, because anytime you buy an augment, your burden will go up. It's to prevent you from like racking up cash and then just dumping it all at once to get a huge boost, because you'll hit a ceiling, which I think is fair. And if you want to lower your burden, you need 10 cash. So all of those rules, which are baked into the rule book, stay the same. It's just making cash is a little bit easier. And for flavor purposes, I will say if you want to work those days, we don't have to we don't have to role play those out, because I don't want to role play working, because that's big ass right there. This is escapist fantasy, sci-fi. But if you want to have if you want to do something that is atypical, like gig work or something, and you want it to have some sort of narrative implication, we can talk, and you might get some weird shit like what Legacy ran into in the beginning with meeting Observer, where you have to take a picture of the mole people. Because I've still got a bunch of these like prompts left over for what could happen. So there's that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. But
Piper's currently AFK.
Cool. Aside from that, there were other character moments? Weren't there?
Just filling in people for a lot of things. Finding out some
Mhm.
shit about fucking Cosmic's abilities. Having Marcus get sick.
Cosmic's abilities at shooting a gun, and Marcus being
very strangely
existentially sick.
Kind of worryingly calm and level-headed about everything.
Yes. He's having a good time. He's fine. But I guess until Piper gets back.
We could
What?
always introduce Maxine and Vengetti to each other.
there
There was that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Bengetti has reaffirmed that he wants to meet Maxine, and now Marcus, who has met Maxine, is also like, no, that doesn't need to happen. That's not a good idea.
Played yourself. Where's the gift for that?
too late in the day for them to meet each other. Unfortunately, they both went to bed at 6 p.m.
No, they didn't.
Crazy.
They didn't, though. We both know for a fact they wouldn't.
Now listen.
Well, we can't
Played
speak.
yourself.
We can't speak to Maxine, but we definitely know Bengetti wouldn't. Bengetti doesn't go to bed
True.
until he crashes.
Yeah, that is pretty accurate. He has a completely fucked sleeping schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do this.
This was all your own doing, just so you know.
It's just something else for you to work on. You got to write that script so that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then be prepared for that script to go out the window after 3 or 4 sentences because we're going to interject.
I'm not even gonna bother with the script. I'm just going to like rehearse doing their voices rapidly back and forth, and that's gonna be my practice. Is just doing that. They're not allowed to meet each other today. I'm not gonna stick to that hard and fast, but that's gonna be my verbal hope out loud.
Howard.
Gonna put it in my end of session notes. Maxine and Bengetti will meet next session.
Let me see.
What else?
There's
a lot of lore talk, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're playing noises, but I don't hear anything.
There's no ambient sounds.
I don't hear anything.
let me see.
I
It
have
sounds
my
like
stream all
every
the way
once
up.
in a while there's like sneaker
Hear
squeaks.
it either.
There we go.
Now I hear it.
Oh god, I got louder.
I was turning up the orbital promenade music. This is
Wait, it's
music
in
for enormous spaces.
it's in the Roll20. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's in a mix of places.
I'm like, hold on, I got louder. Let me lower the Discord. Wait, no, the Discord stream is muted. I still hear it.
Yeah, dude, I'm DJing some shit up now. What
I'm just gonna put both.
was I doing?
Getting us started.
Let's
That's what you're
see.
doing.
We're starting with Piper, who's AFK, right?
Basically, yeah. But this is the large portion. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to just you, Kaya. Here, you can have Bengetti's belongings list of garbage.
Yes. I want all the useless shit.
In it, you will
think I
find
want-
clothing, spare kitchenware, empty or decorations that weren't put up.
He has full sets of dishes and silverware and everything, like 6 placements of it, but he only pulled out 1 each.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. It's
that's
whenever Lockhart
literally it.
buys more, after she leaves, he just puts it away and forgets about it. And when she comes back, and she's like, "Where's all the dishes?" He's like, "I don't fucking know."
Why do you have 50 plates, sir, and you only have 1 in your kitchen?
I only need one.
That's literally it. He's like most of his processing is like, cool. I only need the shirts that I like the most, which are these ones. Pulls out just those, and the pants that I like the most. He took some gray ones, but it's like white shirts, gray shirts, black shirts, and then denim jeans. Obviously socks, underwears, a couple of jackets. But suit coat, left it in the box. Collared shirts, left it in the box.
And most of the jackets
Other,
that
like-
he has now acquired, he's stolen from people.
Correct.
Mhm.
He has a lot of empty picture holding devices, like a photo album that is completely empty. Which, it's worth noting that photos, like a photo album, is about as old as it feels today. It's weird to have like a physical old school, because they're clunky and heavy.
Not as weird as it is today.
Yeah,
I
like
have
it's
one in this drawer right next to me
no, but like an
that
old
I made myself.
no, like an old like leather bound one that's like way too big.
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Oh, oh, are you secretly old?
I have a photo album right here with all of my pictures in it that I bought myself and put all my pictures in.
Oh, speaking of stolen coats. I'm sorry. Brain is skipping
Mhm.
tracks around a lot today.
Mm-hmm.
I realized after the last session, Legacy stole Pink Getty's lab coat.
Yes. I'll have
Marcus,
you know,
Marcus just picked her up and like walked out, and she still had Pink Getty's coat.
Ben Getty did not notice. I'll also let you know he has 2 lab coats. So you took one of his only 2 lab coats.
Does it have his name on it?
No, it's just a blank lab coat.
Kaya comes home one day and just sees Legacy walking around in a lab coat. Like, where the fuck do you get that?
No. She comes home. She's tired, right? Out of the corner of her eye, she sees small figure in a white lab coat, and she freezes.
Did I go to the wrong house? Pretty sure this is mine. It looks like mine.
It's just like, oh no, it looks like mine. He got in.
Why didn't he tell me he was staying for dinner?
I knew I was tired, but I didn't think I was that tired.
Next time Legacy goes to Bengetti, she's just gonna show up wearing the lab coat.
He's gonna be so annoyed. It's gonna be such an ordeal. I am tired because I know that I have to be an angry Ben Getty, and just the thought of being like, oh, God, I have to work up all of this frazzled, disjointed scientist energy,
About a lab coat.
like undo all of the work that the medicine for ADHD has done, so that I can become more unhinged and Ben Getty like.
To be fair, he can also develop.
This is true. He could.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to Legacy is the question.
Yeah, but Lockhart and Kaya are there. Maybe he develop a little bit. Becomes more
he's better.
tolerable.
He already
He has
been
gotten
better.
he has gotten better about saying sorry too,
Mm-hmm.
or asking permission.
Exactly, he has. It's like, oh, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
But I imagine Legacy pushes the off switch on self-control just by being there. It's like he behaves and then Legacy does some shit and then he gets really mad. It's just like what we were talking about the other day, the sibling override. No longer mature, only annoyed.
So, if Piper's not back yet, we could start on a cold open with you, Cody, and then have Piper walk in.
Okay.
If you're feeling up to some rapid improv.
Sure.
All right. So the gist of where you would be right now is you would be, let me make sure you guys are actually on the map. Okay, cool, you are. So on this map here, just in case you haven't been incredibly familiarized with it yet, these 3 black connecting points are joined in a triangle. And these are different mega structures that are basically huge cities that are layered on top of other cities. And they have just an absolute massive population, each one. The most dense population is in Adams Ward. They're not equally distributed. Adams Ward has the highest population density. Currently, you guys would be in Amal Ward, which is where Ben Getty's apartment is. Which, this is like... I actually have this. Amal Ward is very open. This is your kind of gentrified, nice part of Philadelphia, where it's not super, super spacious because it's still cramped city, but it is more spacious than the more or the less funded part of the other areas of the station. But there's enough room here for like open planting structures and multiple sidewalks. There's a lot of kind of chill little coffee shops and bookstores and tech stores. It is a hybrid living space and shopping area where people will live on the higher floors of the city and shop on the mid and lower floors. Most people don't own a car because you can kind of get everywhere between public transport and walking. And the station, because it is a triangular shape connected at one point, it's folded in like so that if you were to look up, you could see above you in what would be what normally is sky. It is instead 2 prongs of additional superstructure. So it's like almost vertigo-inducing for someone who's not used to it. But you have lived here for such a long period of time, you would be like understandably accustomed to this. I'm more just telling you so that you have a general idea of what day-to-day life looks like. There's no blue. It's all artificial sunlight, which is not too warm. So like most people tend to wear coats or light jackets. But there is an artificial weather station that has been put in. And that has started to simulate things like light breezy winds or soft rain. There is the potential for snow, but it's currently the summer portion, quote unquote, of the year. But the station itself, if you're not looking directly upwards, it just looks like a more living / green infused New York City street. At least this part of the station does. Amal Ward specifically has that vibe. Oh yeah. These pictures are so fucking pretty, IMO. But yes, there's like highways running to and from, and like there's always a bus, like a big bustling of people going from one place to the next. And because everything is kind of walkable for the most part, it makes it really easy to arrange meetings with clients to meet them at a coffee shop in one place or another. It takes about 1 hour to get from one station to the next. So if you are in Amal Ward, you could expect to get to Mariposa in an hour. But if you wanted to get all the way back to Voyager, which is where more likely your clients would do work, it's going to take you a good chunk of the day. But Mariposa and Foundation Ward, this is probably where you do most of your meeting work, because you're not actually, like, you're sourcing the clients and finding them places to be in other areas of the station where they would record or film. And most of that would happen either in Voyager or Seishin or Marikyu. These are the hyper commercialized areas. Voyager is the one area where certain corporations might have a private studio where they shoot their own private commercials. But in Seishin Ward and Marikyu, your Hollywood-esque studios are going to be in these wards. But in a mall ward, you would have had the pleasure of a meeting with one of your how long would you say you probably would have known Talmay?
I'd say like a newer client, like probably within the last 6 months.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is really like not like the first meeting, but an early one where they have been doing work, they had other meetings with other studios, and they have a really packed schedule, and you like doing your day-to-day thing also have the struggle of like finding time to overlap. But eventually you find the time. And so she, having also moved and now living in a mall ward, I believe, conveniently found you on a day where you were free, and you could have met up for coffee at, let me see, there's a whole mess of places that you could have chosen. Really, it's just a matter of how hoity-toity do you want to get. Do you have a vibe that you think fits Cassidy? Is it like
How
extremely
bougie.
yeah, is it the type of coffee shop where it's like a fancy ceramic cup with a tray, and like they do like little sprinkles of whatever type of artisan spice or some shit?
So I imagine it'd be like some of that, but like it would like she would still want it to be like a smaller, more intimate setting where they do like some like really great latte art. Somewhere that's maybe like a special hole in the wall type of spot.
Yeah, that's easily available for sure. Let me find. Cool. So there is a little coffee bar called the Turtle Shell, and it like the little sign, the neon sign that hangs above it is like it shows a very overly cartoon cute emoji turtle, and the shell of the turtle is like cybered up so it looks like a curved and bent into turtle shell shape circuit board.
I was imagining the
And
Mario turtle shell.
Kinda, yeah. It's basically a Mario turtle shell, but it's all like chrome cyber.
Sci-fi.
And then it's a very cutesy little like, what is it? Like
Little man.
kind of like this little like happy V smile face.
Yes.
But this place is this would be like the regular spot for someone of your tastes in a mall ward.
Perfect.
But yeah, you are sitting at this nice little place and waiting for Talmay. You just enjoy the scenery. There's a couple of baristas, that's the word, waiters and waitresses, and who are basically doubling as bussers, waitresses, and baristas, because it's a very small little rinky-dink shop. But you have the smell of really nice chocolates and this like fresh crushed coffee bean smell. It is a pungent scent. And it's very just the right amount of piping warm air compared to the cooler outside. And as you're sitting there waiting for your drink, you notice a tall woman who she has long black hair with a kind of purple gray sheen to it, or silver, like a purple silver sheen to it. She is has like a bob, or not bob, I can't remember the name of this cut, but her bangs sit like just below her eyebrow. She has a very faint tint olive skin tone, and she is wearing a white leather asymmetrical biker jacket with dark black jeans. And I don't know if anyone has seen her picture yet up close, but this is what she looks like. If you can see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But she walks in and she sees you and just like, oh, and then starts hustling over and she goes, hi, sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're fine. How's my favorite new client doing?
I'm good. I'm really sorry. I got held up at the bus. I forgot that they take like 5 or 6 extra stops after, the red line, and it has been a morning, but I am glad to be here, and it is a pleasure to finally get to work with you in a more personal way. She holds out her hand.
Cassidy will reach up her hand and shake it. Please sit down. What are you drinking? And she'll like snap at one of the baristas.
You snap, and immediately Talme like looks a little like, ooh, and then sits down, and one of the baristas like hustles over, and it is this like strapping young dude who's got the like lean musculature and dreads tied in the back of his head. He will come over. He drops your drink, and then Talme will order herself a just some fancy macchiato or some such or something to that effect, I guess. And as she is sitting there, she'll like lean onto the table a little bit and just be like, I have lived in this ward for a while, and I've never actually noticed this place before. This is really nice. I dig this.
Ah, yes, I love this place. I bring all of my clients here.
And she like nods and then like turns to just she's just gazing at all the different angles and areas and admiring the scenery. It's a very like sleek neo design of a cafe area. And she'll say, wow, okay, cool. I can see why you'd bring them here. This is it's just the right amount of new kind of vibes with just enough retro coffee feel. I can get behind this. This is cool.
I'm glad you like it. So, you've been a busy girl. Tell me what you've been up to.
Well, and right as she gets into explaining about her day, you see behind her another coincidentally old client who you were not, or I believe you were probably expecting her here, just for the sake of moving things along.
I called them.
Yeah.
I said,
yes.
hey, get your ass over here.
Oh, you're right. So yeah, right as she's about to get into her day, you notice over her shoulder, Media walks up from the like street side stairwell. And Media, if you haven't described yourself, you may do so now.
Media is about 5'5", with long white hair that's typically braided up, or whatever she feels like at the moment. She has light blue eyes that are augmented, so you can see sort of like digital stuff on the outside of her eyes. On her back, though they are not active right now, is a set of neon wings.
Ah, and there's my favorite oldest client.
Hey Cass, hey Tal, how you doing?
Oh, hi. Oh, wow. This, I can't believe I've never been here before. Have you met here regularly? I'm
Where are
really
we? I have
jealous.
no fucking clue.
It is a little like neo-futuristic coffee shop called the Turtle Shell, and it's like a very cute turtle coffee shop that's a little bit artisan, a little bit new, kind of new wave.
Cassidy certainly would have brought media here before.
Yeah, this is the spot. This is where you take the good clients.
Yeah, we come here
But-
every so often. Not a terrible lot.
Wow, I am so jealous. But I was actually just about to tell Cassidy about this. Well, about what has been preoccupying my time lately. So, I mean, I just got done with another set for some reboot of a TV show that I honestly can't be remembered to bother much about with the plot. It's some remake of like a sci-fi show for like a video game, I think. I can't remember. But aside from that, I had another big offer that I didn't know how to really take. So the biggest thing that I've heard from lately is, I mean, it's all over the news. All of the stuff revolving around Tetsuo. It's everywhere. This company went from just a security agency to being like one of the biggest things ever, and they reached out to me about an interview spot and like a couple other event hosting opportunities, and I don't know how to feel about it, because I mean I've made my stance against them pretty clear.
Hmm.
Don't do that, Tal.
I don't know. It sounds like a really lucrative opportunity.
It's gonna be a lot of money, sure, but that's a really bad idea.
But you
It's-
could, you could be the bright shining star on the inside. Change it. Be the change.
You, I love your pitch. I love your pitch, Cass, but
Trying to get that 10%.
Tetsuo is everything that you're against, sweetie. Do not
And-
sell out to them.
She shrugs and goes like, I know, I'm more just reeling in shock from it. They didn't put a number on it, but I know that a deal like this, especially given my public opinion on them, a stance that they would take, with the stance that I take, they probably would be willing to shell out a lot of cash, which I wouldn't feel good about taking, but I mean, I could do a lot of good with it. I already do as much as I can, but maybe I could do more?
No, Tal. Trust me. We have a lot to discuss.
What?
I can't let you do that.
I'm just curious. What are the specific? I mean, can you voice your true opinion?
It's not actually anything about what I would imagine. It's not about securities or anything about my previous work. It's more that they really want me to host and do an interview series with a bunch of online content creators, specifically people who are really popular on streaming platforms. And I guess I don't know. I think part of the idea is that they're marketing the young person to the young people. But honestly, I'm not as young as I like to think I am anymore. She
Tell
just
me you're a
awkwardly
symbol
brushes a
of
hair out of her
beauty.
face.
So, Tal, you're a symbol of beauty, but do not take this job.
Honestly, gorgeous. But think about how much this could amplify your voice.
No, it's not going to amplify her voice. It's going to change it altogether.
Do you think just even the one spot would be?
Tall.
No,
Uh,
I think you're right.
yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
Could
media puts her
rally a
hands
new
on Talm's-
generation.
Media puts her hands on Talm's shoulders, like, to me, do not take that job. Do not talk to them. Block them. Just please.
She nods and she's like, I think you're right. I'm going to. I will forward you their calls. And she looks to Cassidy and be like, and I think that if nothing else, I will let them stew on it.
Mm.
Just to make it seem like it's a hard offer to turn down or something, right? That's what one of the things you said to do, kind of play hard to get with an offer, even
Yes.
if I'm not going to take it.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll come back with an even better offer. Perhaps we could arrange something that would be a little more neutral. Perhaps we do an interview with one of their podcasters or what have you, but through a lesser known studio to, dip our feet in.
Tal looks back to media. and just
Shakes
kinda like,
head violently. Do not interact with them. Do not touch them. Do not shake their hand. Do not give them a greeting card. Do not accept their greeting cards. If they send you a fruit basket, toss it in the trash, or better yet, kick it. Listen,
Did
Tal.
something happen?
Yes.
She like blinks at you for a second. Goes, is it about the fiasco today on the highway?
Yes.
Cassidy's
I-
gonna look around just to make sure that like no one's listening to their conversation.
No, honestly, the only people who are here aside from you three, who are in like a more secluded balcony section, is another couple who, like Cassidy, you see them from across the way. You see some man and some woman who are like doughy-eyed, staring at each other. And the baristas, there are two baristas behind the counter. The young guy with dreads and then a girl with red hair, and they're both like gossiping about the couple they're watching. So they are more invested in some romantic thing that's going on than they are invested in the girls' engagement.
And what are like the smoking laws and policies here?
Oh, it's for this part of the station. If you can afford to be here, typically the most available smoking things are not going to be openly toxic, so you are free to smoke / vape wherever you would want.
Beautiful. Pulls out an electronic cigarette and starts smoking.
Talmay just like nods and then kind of leans in close. And it's right around this time that the barista you hear just, oh shit, and then you see the one dude with dreads like dip behind the counter again and then start shuffling around with some ceramic ware, start putting together another drink because he had forgotten to bring Talmay her. But Media, you were saying something about the events that transpired.
Listen, Tal. A lot of shit has happened today. A lot. And that's
Mhm.
partially why I wanted to talk to you for your advice on some things. But before that, she kind of huffs, like she's gonna wait for her triple whiskey on the rocks order, and it's just gonna take a sip. She's just gonna
Yeah,
fucking down a shot, set it back down.
you get like the coffee black in one cup and then the whiskey in a nice like fancy ceramic
Yes.
shot glass.
Listen, I can't talk too much because I promise not to, and I don't want to die, frankly.
I mean, did you
Takes
sign
another-
an NDA?
No, but these are the kind of people that might murder me just for even saying that they might know something. So there was one lady in a giant suit. Looked like she was about to kill me just for existing. Okay, whatever.
Giant suit.
No, like fucking tall girl. look like she's fucking born assassin or some shit.
Talmay
In
like
fact, I think she
is
is an
trying to
assassin.
imagine her, and you can you get the feeling that Talmay is picturing the wrong image, but like it would be the equivalent of like, yeah, and it looked like this big scary guy with whatever kind of muscles, and it's just like a cartoon crayon drawing of
It's
the
like
image
Lockhart,
with like
but
pointy
JoJo.
teeth.
It's like Lockhart, but JoJo.
Hmm.
I met the people that did it today.
What do you mean?
The incident highway.
I thought it was an accident.
No, it was an accident.
Wait. Are these the same people, or is this like that? Well, she says this with quotation marks with her fingers. Terrorist group that Tetsuo keeps popping off about?
I don't know all of the details, but I don't think they're fully connected. But listen, Tetsuo is in some big shit. And when I say big shit, I mean dangerous shit. As in the stuff you don't even want to consider kind of shit.
She like furrows her eyebrows. She's like trying to kind of wrap her head around it. Just goes, well, part of me thinks that, not to change the subject, but part of me thinks that one of the reasons I could take this opportunity is so that I could blast some truth out into the mic.
No, listen.
Yes,
to me, Tal.
exactly,
No,
darling.
it's
Keep
not
your
going-
friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Okay, but listen, they fuck with your head, and I'm not talking about some conspiracy theorists. They do shit to your brain.
What do you
Look.
mean?
Look, see that monitor over there? Use this flicker on it.
Yeah, like you can see the barista, the woman like with red hair. She's just like typing up an order, and then the monitor just like immediately flicks off and back on and starts rebooting, and then she just goes, "God damn it!" She was like halfway through finishing up typing your ticket, and then Talmay just blinks and just goes, "That was really cool. How did you do that? Did you know it was going to shut off?"
No, I made it shut off. Let me see your phone.
Okay. She pulls out her phone, hands it to you.
Use it. I hold out the screen so that she's looking at the display, and I do the flicker on it, or like I snap.
Mm-hmm. You do that, and the phone immediately goes into a boot, and then she just like, how? She like, now you have like reached the part of her brain that is like, okay, this is not weirdly coincidental timing. This is starting to seem like a whole deal, huh?
Yep, it sure is.
Yeah, and Cassidy, this is like, if this is like a David Blaine, like Chris Angel ass magic trick, this is a deep ass elaborate one, because Talmay does not shill for magic. She does not find like magic trick stuff very entertaining, but she does like, yeah, this is not something she would participate in as like a willing ignorant like inside person. But Talmay is now like, so I'm confused. How did you do that, and what does it have to do with brains?
Something happened to me today, Tal. And
Blinks.
I know that sounds crazy, but I promise you I'm not drunk, besides this 3-shot of whiskey, but I don't get drunk that easily, you know that. But
She shrugs and just like nods. Like, yeah, okay, I've seen you drink more.
but something happened to me today. I can't properly fully explain it, but you could see Media scrambling trying to find the right words. I got a whole bunch of info downloaded into my brain somehow. You know, I got a circuit in my brain, right?
She nods.
Well, I'm putting this very, very bluntly, or very shorthanded, but I got a massive amount of information, just downloaded it to it. And when I did, I could do that.
She blinks and like looks at the computer where she sees for the second time like the ticket being typed up, and the redhead is now more frantically typing it, making a mistake, fixing it, typing it, like trying to make it before the computer shuts off, like get back to where she was and then past the finish line. And she
And so
looks
you're
at her phone.
saying Tetsuo did this to you?
No, Tetsuo didn't do it, but I learned a bunch of shit about Tetsuo. I think I think I got a bunch of information like from their servers or some bullshit like that. I mean, you said lying is because she knows what happened to her, but she's trying to frame it in a way that makes sense because she's not about to drop. I have Eldritch Abomination in my brain.
Mm-hmm. Roll me a cool check, and if you have anything about persuasion, you can add that as a generic specialty. But I will give you the benefit of, because you know Talmay, it's a lot easier for you to accomplish this.
Acting.
Acting works.
Okay. Gonna spend a prep B prep.
Mm-hmm.
Prep boost.
Mm-hmm.
Prep boost. Oh wait, no. How do I put the boost in again? Do I just
I think it's just 3d6
Oh, so you just
instead of
roll.
2. I have no idea. I've never used the roller much. I just roll
Ah.
2d6 and then do the math.
That's fair.
Hell
plus
yeah.
3. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so 16. Talmay is very much engaged in listening to you. You can tell she's having a hard time following because she doesn't think you are a liar in any way, and she doesn't think you are like off your rocker or drunk out of your gourd. Like she's very clearly like, okay, something's going on, and it is very, very important to you. And there's also a lot of not anxiety, but just there's a lot of attention being shown to how you're trying to approach this, because there is some amount of tense or sensitive information that you're trying to convey that is difficult to convey, but she's still struggling to wrap her head around it. But you definitely have her attention. At the very least, she will continue to listen to you and hear you out for whatever you have to say, or if you ask her to do anything.
Yeah. Like, listen. You always hear stories about corporations going the corrupt route, hiding stuff they don't want to tell anybody. They're in some dark shit.
Yeah. They're
in some dark shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it before, and Tetsuo, at their core, they're just it's just a nightmarish control scheme that's trying to worm its way into the government through back alley deals and under the table exchanges.
Try
it's just
personality
a fucking mess.
manipulation. Try personality manipulation.
But how? aren't they just a security agency? Well, I
No.
can see how they would like do weird brainwashing
also
sort of
in-
tactics, but
They're also in cybernetics. They get full brain scans of people, like full scans of people, and they alter them.
she like narrows her eyes and you can see she's like scanning your face
Dead
to try
serious.
and
Dead serious,
like-
yeah.
yeah, she's trying to get a read on like your emotions. Are you trying to in any way hide how Media is feeling?
No, you can see a hint of fear and also a little bit of confusion from her. And obviously, there's sign that there's still more that she needs to talk about, but they're getting through this hurdle first.
Okay. She, like, her just kind of reading your face, she kind of picks up on that and she kind of stalwartly straightens up and just goes, okay, I don't really have the full scope of what's going on, but it seems like you have a lot of info that I don't. Do you have the full picture, or maybe
I
the
have
people you talk to, do they have the full picture?
I have a pretty big picture, and the people have an even bigger picture. But listen, you take that job as Tetsuo, you won't be coming back as you.
Reaches up and kind of rubs at her neck in the same sort of way that someone who like watched the thumb across the neck throat slicing gesture would do in this sort of like kind of shiver. She just nods and goes, okay, so I guess. She looks to Cassidy and then back to you and says, what do I do? I don't have any prospective work right now. I mean, I'm not, I guess, hurting for any sort of funds, but
We can see
Again?
about getting you a part on Angel's Request. I'm sure they'd love to have you. Money's good.
And in the meantime, we can sit on the offer and come up with a game plan.
turns back to Media and like nodding to what you said and then turning back to Media and saying like, okay, so I guess, is that why you wanted to meet with us today?
This whole supercomputer thing, it's fucked with my head a bit. She takes another shot, like she downs the cup and asks for another one.
Keep going.
It's really fucking with me. I don't really feel like me, you know? I feel disconnected from how I used to be, you know? And it's kind
She-
of scary to handle on your own.
She nods and then reaches over and takes like slides one of the shot glasses like towards the edge of the table, kind of sliding it not out of your reach, but out of the way. And she will say, I don't know what you're going through. I don't fully understand it, but I want to. And I think I'll do my best. At the very least, I'll put a hold on any sort of big, dangerous things I might do until you feel a little bit better.
Just make sure you do your research. Don't talk to anybody affiliated with. You need to be safe.
She nods and she'll turn to Cassie and be like, and new agent, you're good to start taking and filtering some of my calls?
Of course. And also, I just tweeted 5 minutes ago, and we already have 439 retweets saying that you should go onto Tetsuo. Lots of people are saying that you can
I
provide
use
a
Flickr
new
on her
voice.
phone.
Like
I mean, the tweet's already out there,
immediately,
so.
the tweet's gone, but your phone
Oh,
like tweep, and then starts rebooting.
She like starts clicking at it, like trying to make it go away.
That. Just get her on Angel's request and you'll still get some of your cut, okay?
Can you get me on Angel's request?
Oh, please,
And-
it's me asking.
I mean, she
Yeah,
is the star of the show.
We can be in
Well-
shoots together. You can be my new assistant. The last one just died off.
There's
not,
a
not
moment's
like
pause.
for real died,
Character.
but
Yeah,
To
there's a
clarify.
moment's pause where she's like died, and then it's like no, the character. She's like, oh, okay, so now okay, that's TV. TV died.
yeah. Weird shifting gears from that. I get it.
So, I guess should I try to meet, or could I meet some of these people? I know
will
it might not
have-
seem like a good idea, but I am curious about, I guess, their motives. And I mean, the whole hotel attack. I assume that was them. It might not be, but
As
if it
I
was-
understand the hotel attack, that was Tetsuo, not those people.
blinking and kind of tilting her head. If that was Tetsuo, they shot ordnance at their own station? At their own building?
What better way to deflect blame from yourself?
I mean, that is a great strategy.
I never really thought about it like that.
I will talk to them to see if they want to talk to you. I think that as an activist, you'll be more trustworthy. If I don't, if I die, they probably killed me for telling you that. But you know,
She looks like immediately like, okay, wait, what? And like looks up. You don't mean the die part, right?
no, I mean they might actually kill me. I don't. These guys blew up fucking Joseph Diego.
Like just
In
a
very hushed
pantomimes-
whispering.
Like-
Whispering.
Yeah, like pantomimes the
The explosion. Yeah.
yeah. When did that happen? Was that at?
The highway.
She just blinks. Oh. And now the gravity of this is started to sink in. Oh shit, this is like a rebel faction.
Yeah. And I don't know why I suddenly met them, but I did. Weird how that works out.
How
Well-
did you meet them?
When I got my... It's not exactly a supercomputer, but supercomputer is the best way I can explain it right now. When I got the supercomputer in my head, it just kind of led me to them. Like, tell me, like, there's a separate thing in my head. Like, a different person, a different thing. And I don't feel like I'm all me right now. But this other person, this other thing, it's so fast, it can think faster than a fucking computer.
Sweetie,
It told me
y-
exactly where to go.
you're not saying these things on set, are you?
Cass, when do I ever joke around about? I mean,
No,
don't
no,
get me wrong.
no. I don't think you're joking. I wouldn't want the producers to get the wrong idea.
You two are the first person I talked to about that.
Oh, okay. Smart.
I'm not gonna go preach around to fucking George, the producer. Hey, I'm fucking. They're gonna think I'm on drugs or something. I don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
Right.
And if I got drugs, my show would be canceled. And I don't want that.
None of us want that.
Especially not my But yeah, I'm not gonna tell anybody else. Us, you two, because you two are my best friends, and you know, if I
But what
can't
it-
tell my friends, can I tell?
What about this faction? Did you tell them?
It's like they knew already.
Hmm.
Like I remember, I was walking down the stairs, and this weird rat-haired guy just slams the door open, points at me, and is like, "That's her." They fucking
Do they
scary
have
man.
uniforms or something?
No uniforms. Uh, there was the weird big girl in the suit that looked like she wanted to strangle me. She probably had like a knife hidden up her sleeve or something. There was like another big girl, but she was really nice. She gave me food. Um, there was this big fucker that works at Tetsuo. He got big old fucking muscular arms, like fucking punched through a hole. And I mean that, like, this guy in media makes like a tries to like stretch her body and her arms out to try and like make herself seem bigger. That guy looks like he fucking steroids, man. I'm telling you.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go meet them.
Like, you just want me to?
Yeah, of course. It makes so
Can-
much sense because then they could potentially provide us the level of protection that we need for Talmay to do the interview.
She's
It's a
not doing the
win-win.
interview. She's not doing the interview.
Okay, darling.
Is do they have a need for someone like me, just an actress? Like, I don't really have. I mean, I have a lot of marketable skills, but I don't know
An
how I would help a rebel
activist,
faction.
darling.
Yeah, being an activist is a huge part of it. You're a good way to spread the word when it's time. And that's why we need to keep you far away from Tetsuo,
That's
not
why
the
we
people.
need to get you in more screens in front of more faces.
She's not taking the interview. Do you want me
I
to just short circuit
have
your phone? I'll do it.
I have 3 more.
I'll do them all.
pulls about like one phone between each finger, just like fucking like you're doing like a Wolverine, just shing.
And one by one, they all just shut down.
but Talmay will put a hand to her chin and say, if I mean, if they're involved in all of this, do they have proof of all of this Tetsuo weirdness?
Yes,
Well,
I've seen some of it actually.
maybe huh, maybe I've been on TV show sets and such for a bit too long, but I mean, that one person sounds big and intimidating and powerful. Maybe if I agree to do the Tetsuo job, we can hijack their network and turn the whole thing into like a secret sting,
Or they can
and I can
kidnap
sneak
you.
you all in.
Exactly.
Or they can kidnap you. You know, sneak something into your head, and then they'll know we know, and then they're gonna change your personality, and then suddenly you're gonna be pro Tetsuo.
That's
what if-
why the rebel faction, your little rebel friends, are gonna help us.
They are like strong, or I guess capable and talented, right? They're the kind of rebel faction you see on TV shows.
They didn't seem that coherent. I have a distinct memory of getting a Red Bull can tossed at me by one of them.
Excuse me, bitch. She did not.
But the Observer did. The Observer did, and that's part of my
This is
memories,
true.
so
Okay, I
suck
was
it.
about to say, like, Legacy did not throw anything at media.
The Observer remembers.
In a very strange and bizarre way, media remembers it, but it's also not like media.
Yeah. Yeah.
But go on. Talmay like thinks about it for a second, just goes, I have a lot of groundswell, but Tetsuo does have a radio network across the whole station. I don't want to take the job and get myself in a bad situation. trust me, I'm going to heed your advice and your warning. But if we could talk to your, I guess, new friends, maybe we could make something happen?
I will talk to them since you're both insistent.
I'm not going to do anything without a guaranteed,
Yeah.
I guess, team. It's a team, right?
I mean, the team's kind of shaky. That they all seem to be very uniquely flavored.
How many of them are there?
There was like seven of them.
Oh, so a very intimate rebel group.
I told you it's not like the TV. These are very small people.
Well, it's kind of like TV in a weird way. It's just a more kind of secret rebel group. Not as like big as the Rebel Alliance or something, but Avenger style. And she like puts her fingers and weaves them together.
I assume that we're on like Avengers 86.
Oh yeah. At this point, yeah.
Okay.
Media downs another triple whiskey shot, slams it down. Today sucks. You know, I was walking down the street, brain got zapped. Suddenly, I'm a supercomputer. Suddenly, I meet terrorists. Suddenly, I have a thing in my head. Orders another shot.
Does sound like you've had quite the day.
Just nodding.
Cassidy
with
is
it.
like cannot hide her concern that her longest lasting client is having a psychotic break.
So I guess let's do this. We'll start small with all of this stuff, and for right now, maybe we can just work on getting onto your show, and then from there,
Yeah.
maybe we can arrange a meet with those friends of yours. And I guess we'll see what they all think.
I guess that's a plan. I'll talk to them. I think we're meeting somewhere tomorrow, maybe?
Just nods.
The tweet is up to almost 1,000.
Cassidy, I love you. You've been loyal to me, but do not push her.
Nope, it's not me pushing her. It's the public. The public wants her.
I know a hacker friend. You're gonna be sorry.
Tell me quietly sipping her macchiato, just like, it's a weird day, man.
Media just sighs. When I woke up, I just wanted to do my best for the show. Did you know I have a gun in me now?
What?
I don't know what that means. Did you eat a gun?
No. No. I can manifest a gun out of nowhere now. Like fucking magic.
Talme like leans back, looks up at the two baristas. They are nowhere to be seen. They have migrated to the back. There's no one else in the coffee shop at this point except the three of you, or at least in the front of the
Look.
coffee shop.
If you don't believe me, I can show more stuff. You think turning stuff on and on again is the only thing I can do? Look, send Cass a text message. I'm not even gonna look. Emilia turns around, shoves her eyes into her sleeve. Send her something.
Looks at Cassidy. It just kind of shrugs. It goes, I guess I'll send you a text. Like,
Say something I wouldn't think of.
she sends Cassidy a text. If Cassidy is okay with trying this out,
I
Tommy
mean,
is
as
very
long
curious
as one
about
of her phones is
superpowers.
working.
Oh, they all work. It's just when the flicker just turns them on and off,
Oh, okay.
or off and then on again. But like she'll send you a text that is like it's like the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy Doug and not dog. Like the name Doug.
Yeah. And media will
And
repeat that because she's not looking. She's not looking. She has her eyes on her arm, and she says that to them. And also, Doug. Not. It's supposed to be Doug, right? Why Doug?
just looking at her phone and then looking at the back of Media's head. How did you do that?
I can read the fucking radio waves.
Cassidy starts typing on her phone and immediately is like, "We have to get you onto psychic influencers immediately."
No. No. We are not
So-
telling the world that I suddenly have superpowers.
Can you like do other stuff like fly, or is that not a thing yet?
I don't think I can fly. I can sort of interface with like computers, like I can touch my hand and like get some base info. That sort of thing. I can really like I do so many calculations per minute. Like holy shit. Orders another triple shot of whiskey.
You like
Hey.
hold up a hand to order it, and like there's just no one at the counter, no one in sight, and then you hear like shuffling in the back. It goes, give me 1 second, and then just awkward maneuvering to the front. Talmay just like raising an eyebrow. What are they doing? Should we
wondering-
go?
Do you want to?
I think maybe we need a nap or something. Today has gotten a bit too stressful.
Sleep over at my place or at yours? As she gets up, she sort of like stumbles a little bit. Ooh, take a shot. Okay.
Talmay will get up and like catch you by the arm, and she'll do like a quick like swoop lace her arm or loop her arm through yours so that she can support you.
I'll have my motorbike delivered to one of our places, and let's chill out. Where the light's always blue.
Well, not that, but a little. They're on the blue spectrum, I think.
Ah, okay.
And looks back to Cassidy, just kind of shrugs, like,
Let's pause on the whiskey.
Yeah.
Talmay nodding,
you
just
might-
like,
you-
yes.
You might be a little, but let's sleep over. My place is big enough. Let's go. Be just like when we were kids.
Okay. Are there any other interactions that were going to happen before the end of one of the longer days of Cyberpunk?
I mean, I don't got anything.
Nothing.
I think so. If I did, I forgot.
And I told you
Okay.
what Legacy would be doing behind the scenes as far as like filling Marcus in on things. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Kaya would probably take some time to fill in Rat and give her the rat signal.
So you want Rat to show up at your apartment?
I meant more so like it could be off screen. She gets the rat signal of, hey, if they're in trouble, hit button, come help us.
Oh, okay.
Remember I said that, yeah, I could tie her into the saving grace signal, and you
Gotcha.
said that she would rename it to the rat signal.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like phone her like to meet up with her immediately, and I was like, okay, well she's gonna be there. She's gonna make a fucking stink about it. But
love the image of a giant flashlight on top of the apartment that Kaya is, with just a rat.
Just-
types it in the
like a stock Shutterstock image of like a rat silhouette.
yeah.
But yeah, I will say that you
see what
can
makes
both.
that even worse though is that like they have to shine it against the night sky, but there is no sky, so you're shining into somebody else's fucking apartment that's above you.
Aim for a large roof.
It scares somebody because
You have to aim for a roof that is very like wide and flat and still easily visible.
Yep.
There's some guy just
Um,
waking up and they see a giant rat silhouette on his wall.
Why does this keep happening?
I can't remember where it's coming from.
So you can fill in Rat with however much you want Rat to know. Just regardless of whatever you tell her, she is going to be 110% on board and will kill someone if you want her to.
Understood. Rat signal is go.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but Rat does have a gun. She does not bring it out often, but she does have a.
I assume it's a
Yes.
shotgun.
It is an old shotgun, but it is a shotgun.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Now I'm just imagining like an older Junker Queen.
Kinda.
Honestly, she looks
See-
like the old woman in the cinematic with Junker Queen.
Now I want there to
Also
be some
kinda.
like save the party side thing with Voluska and his shotgun and Rat and her shotgun.
Everyone pick an NPC to play.
We'll have an NPC romp at some point where everyone can just have whatever NPCs show up and just fight.
Now here's the thing. Is Z gonna play Cosmic or Marcus?
My boys! They're my boys!
Do you want to punch or do you want to shoot? Okay, Sailor. I understand you have opinions.
So if you all are good, we can say that you have transitioned into the next day. The scene has ended. So mark your highest damage box as healed, and you may, if you have any damage, mark the highest one as healed. And we can have the new day begin.
Oh boy.
Which then begets the question of, what do you all want to do today?
Meteor gets up like, that was a weird dream. And then she uses Flicker on the TV and then just goes back to bed for like 10 minutes. Like,
It's like, why do I have a new group chat called Beans?
it wasn't a dream. Fuck. And she just hits her head against the pillow. And then she's going to send a message to group chat.
asking what they wanted to do today, because yesterday was a break day, or last night.
This would be the time at which we start to move into a more long
Okay.
form stint, and we can have more meetups and in character conversation if that is desired. But I want to give y'all this time to more or less put together like the next sort of long-term goal, because there is no heist on the horizon as of right now.
Just figuring out what the fuck we have. I'm starting to put that shit together. So, question 1.
Uh-huh.
Does Marcus return to work the next day?
Yes. So
Okay.
Marcus returns to work. He is... Let me roll. Oops. That's a tell me roll. I needed a Marcus roll. And that be clever. And 6. So Marcus would return or Marcus would go back to work. He would tell you right away, like, keep in contact with you, because he's not like in a restricted area where he's not allowed to have his phone or anything, right? So he's able to text and communicate during the day without any issue. The moment he like got up and left to go to work, he would stay in contact and be like give legacy updates and basically be like, okay, so I'm going in, everything seems fine. There's not a lot of like differences I'm noticing. And when he got to his office, he would find that he has a new series of projects, but is otherwise like there's not really anything different.
Okay. So that's that solved. He has not burned that bridge as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get the brain to Maxine.
Just don't drop it.
Kaya will make French toast on the day.
I'll come with. I want to meet Maxine.
I don't got shit. I don't know. Kaya's hanging out with Larry.
You have the other Larrys that you
Oh,
could
that's
put.
true.
Yeah, you have the other Larrys that you could put into a like rudimentary physical form if you wanted to.
Do you want to have that conversation with the first Larry about his new brothers and sisters?
Yeah, that is the thing. That need to have a conversation with the OG Larry.
Yeah. Do you want to have that conversation now? That's not like you can have. So on the next day, you are dealing with wind-up toy, like whether or not you want to give the other Larrys the ability to ambulate and speak.
And right now they're like paused, essentially.
Correct. They are in effectively like a form of stasis or pseudo death or sleep.
And the Legacy would, I think Legacy made it kind of clear in the conversation, or would have at some point, that, you know, these ones looked like, because they were the ones that Bengeti had run the least, or had, like, rebooted the most recently, of like, you know, this one's kind of the new one, this one's a little bit older, this one, and then there's, like, that one that he's, like, not stopped the entire time. That Legacy's like, that one's probably the crazy one. If one of them's crazy, that's that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me, if no one else has other more important stuff to do. This is probably a topic Kai needs to broach with Larry at some point. For better or for worse, Larry has graduated to this weird in-between pet and NPC space. So I don't exactly control Larry anymore.
Yeah, you control Larry in the same way that
You control
Legacy
small baby.
controls Marcus, or
Yeah.
like it's very much like you can tell them what to do and they will do it to their best of their ability, and if you tell them something that is antithetical to how they understand the world, they'll be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So
can't
he's-
speak for them, can interact with them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Larry is far more likely to listen to you if you tell him to do something than any other NPC would.
Mhm.
Then Marcus, who has started to argue.
Marcus, who is slowly but surely, but very slowly, growing a backbone. Yes, dear, honey.
Never forget.
Legacy did not know that he possessed that tone.
He has sass.
We do need to find some way to get Cody's character in, so maybe we should have a
Mhm.
chat with
Well, I think-
Tommy and everybody.
That would probably be a media prompted thing then, of media like, hey, can I talk to all of you? More so than I think any of our characters volunteering.
Yeah, because we don't know shit about them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
It's
maybe like
Go
a
ahead.
couple days in, media will send a text like, "Hey, I promise I didn't give any details because I'm good and I don't want to die, but there are some people I think would be good for you to meet. One's an activist and one's very good at handling public relations. It might be good to have somebody on that side of things."
would you all be open to meeting with such people under ideal circumstances?
Obviously, yeah, for Kaya.
Okay.
Anyone else? They're the question marks. You could just send Kaya alone as an ambassador. She has the ultimate vibe checker. If she doesn't like someone, it means they're evil.
Do we even have an Iris here? Because I've not heard Iris anytime recently.
No, I'm here.
Okay. I mean, if media pushed a little bit and media was very clear about who they were and what she was thinking, like why she wanted them to meet beforehand, Legacy might listen.
Yeah.
Might I suggest not telling Lockhart why we're meeting? I'm gonna be real here.
Fucking.
It's a group chat. I lined it out there.
Lockhart immediately leaves any group chat. That's
Group chat is formed. Lockhart has left the chat.
The only time Lockhart stays in the group chat when it's like made the day of something important and we're like, look, bitch.
when you send the message as you before she can leave it, and you preface it with Lockhart. Hold on.
It's going from bad to worse.
I know, right?
So I
that's the problem here.
Look, I handled things the best I could, okay?
By
It's,
instantly telling people.
But I did my best to keep things secret. I didn't tell them who you guys were. I didn't tell them the whole picture.
No, just
and-
called us terrorists, which that in of itself
And-
is
I'm going to
Not good.
tell Tommy and Cass if they ask. I didn't tell you shit before today. Because I don't want to die. There's a giant lady that probably has like 20 knives in her coat. She's gonna kill me with.
Does Lockhart even own a knife?
Actually, yes, she does have a switchblade.
What the fuck? Why the fuck does she have a switchblade?
Why is that surprising?
Because she's punched. Why does she need a knife?
Punch you with a knife.
It was,
Why,
it,
and
was
specifically a switchblade.
it was one of the items that was looted.
Okay,
And
that makes sense.
I just have it in my inventory.
Okay.
I mean, media doesn't know anything about you. She's just like, you're big, probably have at least 5 daggers that you use to stab people with after you know grip their throats.
I'm gonna throw out a quick question to Kaya and Legacy.
Oh boy.
Do the two of you hang out regularly outside of just living together? For example, do you both, as something you would maybe do on a weekend, go out to eat lunch together, or go for a walk together, or go to a coffee shop together, or something like that?
Damn, I really want a smoothie. Yo, me too. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel like them
I don't know.
ending up like getting lunch or like
Mhm.
coffee or something is something that happens with some regularity.
Yeah,
Partially
I
'cause-
imagine it's more so there is when they both end up being burnt out from their respective works and they both end up needing a break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Either needing a break or they're driving each other up the wall inside the apartment of like, I'm tired of listening to your music and I'm tired of listening to your fucking tools all the time. And it's like, okay, we have reached cabin fever. We need fresh air.
We need to go touch
Mhm.
grass real quick. It's synthetic, but it still counts.
Go touch turf.
Gotta go touch the fake grass in the other ward. Let me drive an hour.
But yeah.
So I imagine
Okay.
they frequent some of the little hole in the wall places around Adam's ward
Mm-hmm.
because they're also broke.
There was that one place that with the fake sushi.
Yep.
Yes, and that's one of
Bar at the end of the universe.
there is the bar at the end of the universe, yes. And that is the other place that has prepackaged sushi that oh my god, I can't remember his name. Hijack. That Hijack loves. Hijack has a penchant for
Bad food.
like trash sushi.
yeah.
Or
I mean-
not a penchant, but like a soft spot / craving.
Sometimes you just gotta.
So I will say, if no one has a strong desire to make to take the scene, I do have a few encounters that could happen
Okay.
I mean, I
if
can't-
you're all willing to gamble on it.
What are you muttering, Amy?
Listen,
You were muttering. Say it.
don't worry, we're just fucking encounters.
What?
What are the encounters?
What's one of the encounters?
Just go on, continue talking. What are
Uh,
the encounters?
The encounters are based on groups. So one group would be Kaya Legacy. One group would be Lockhart and an NPC. Another group would be Cassidy and Media.
Sure,
Okay.
I'm down for more screen time, but I don't know what the others want.
I mean, I start with anyone else because we just had a big scene.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure
Okay.
everybody else wants to play.
Pick one of the other two groups, Joe, and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kaya or Lockhart, choose between the two of you. Roll 2d6. Or actually, wait, no, you
What?
don't roll anything. Don't roll anything.
Okay.
Lockhart, high or low?
Whoa.
Low.
Whoa.
Okay. So that is a Lockhart scene.
Oh, great.
So I have on good authority that over the course of the past couple weeks prior to the heist and over the past couple days after the heist, Lockhart has been continuously training Marcus.
Not. Yes.
Oh boy.
And if you could have Lockhart roll me a threat assessment to determine how effective her teaching has been.
Okay.
Here. Okay. So, all things considered, Marcus has gotten a lot better. He has a tendency to, when he is fighting, compared to you, where you're not fighting with augments, Marcus, who has augments on either side of his body, it really disproportionately affects his weight. So he swings with a lot more weight, which makes him a lot slower and a lot heavier handed. So it's difficult to teach him to fight the way that you fight. But partway through your training, because of just your natural expertise with the physicality of combat, Lockhart would have been able to pick this up and teach Marcus how to fight in a way that she wishes she could fight. Where Lockhart has to deal with people who are armored or augmented or otherwise metal, and she has flesh hands and can't just run straight into it. You're going off the assumption that Marcus probably can run straight into it.
Oh no.
So
damn
you've
it.
started to gear the teaching and the forms in a slightly more direct way. Roll me another threat assessment. The DC on this is, I was going to say 6. So with very, very pleasing results. This is like having to go from fight. It would be the same sort of feeling as you're fighting against someone who's wearing full body armor, and you have to kind of deal with how to hit them so that you don't hurt yourself, to teaching someone how to fight and there is no body armor to them. So the entire tactic has changed pace. The training is a barrage of each session well over an hour, almost pushing 2 hours worth of training. It is a just slog of cardio and weight training to the point where where most people would be well into the point where they're like, cool, I'm done for the day, and just go home. You stop Marcus right about the point where he would be willing to like lie down and take a nap, and then you start to spar. And that's when you break out the pads and you break out the gloves and the shin guards, etc. Because the philosophy is when you train at the point of pure exhaustion, when you are fighting and end up at the point of pure exhaustion, you'll still have good form. And after all of this time of training and multiple nights a week of routine exhaustion, Legacy, you would also notice if at any point you slept in the same bed as Marcus, he has way trimmed down and shaped up. He is much more Dorito shaped than he used to be.
You took away the squishy.
But after much deliberation, you feel like Marcus has learned enough that you think he could hold his own in a fight. But there's really only one way to test it. So let me go
Yes.
here.
Also, everybody has to like describe their characters and shit for Cody because Cody doesn't know what they look like.
Yes, this is true.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, I've seen pictures, but I would love a more thorough description.
That goes for NPCs too, Joe.
Fun.
Fuck. Okay, fine.
Entering
So
into the arena, we have.
there is a palpable sense of worry that you can see on Marcus's face as this particular evening, you are not starting with cardio. You are not starting with weight training. You actually stop him from what is normally the routine of immediately jumping onto a treadmill and starting with a good, 20 to 30 minute run. And just no. You need energy right now. And there's a mix of, oh, thank God, I don't have to run. And then, what do I have to do instead? So, Lockhart, what does Lockhart wear to prep for a sparring round? In a friendly sparring round.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this.
Okay.
Well, obviously, when she was training him, she wasn't wearing her suit. She had more like sweatpants and like a tank top kind of thing. What would she wear? I'm trying to think on this because I feel like she would armor up a little bit, just because he does have the super strength thing, but definitely not her usual, like her specialized suit. Maybe a bit more padding, I guess would be kind of thing, like denser clothing, I guess it would be a better way to put it.
So you would have what basically amounts to a high impact sort of like sparring suit. With the way that combat sports have evolved in the year 2080 or whatever, the big bulky padding has been slimmed and trimmed down to be less obtrusive during fights and still just as effective. It would look a lot like you have a bunch of like neoprene clothing segments
I
on.
actually have an idea, and if this would make sense. She does have her suit, but she doesn't have like the suit coat, which is where I assume a lot of the armor and defense comes from. So she's more
a la John Wick.
Yeah. So
cool.
she's in her suit this time, but not the full bit. like the coat is hanging on a chair or something nearby.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a better way to put it.
Cool.
I
Then-
guess you want me to describe Lockhart?
For Cody's sake.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Lockhart is pretty tall. She is 5'10", I believe I said. 5'10", 5'11". She's just a little shorter than Kaya. She has short, really blonde, like platinum blonde hair that's kind of cut below the ears. She typically wears a suit, like a really nice suit, kind of John Wick style, like Joe was saying. She has a pretty muscular, not muscular, but like toned build underneath it. But yeah, and her eyes are kind of like a really pale, yellowish, grayish kind of color. And I don't think I'm missing anything else. Yeah, that's Lockhart.
Nice. So I don't have. Ooh, actually, I might have a good Lockhart gym picture because I forgot I had a Pinterest board with random, or not Lockhart, Marcus picture. Because I have a Pinterest board for Marcus that I like made and forgot about. Something like. Let's see. Perfect. So Marcus is. Where is that? Can I paste here? No, I can't. Darn it. Then I'll paste here in character images. Is a like vaguely Asian looking guy with short black hair that kind of points upward in like a very, very slight faux hawk. He's clean shaven on the face. He is a very conventionally handsome looking man. The only difference between any of the pictures you would see is that his arms, both of his arms, up past his like the clip of his shoulder and a little bit almost to the base of his neck, all of those or all of that area is entirely, and the cybernetic arms, they look like a bunch of very tightly wound woven ropes that are shaped in the form of an arm, so they have the same musculature and shape of a normal arm, but there's obviously when he moves or turns his wrist or rotates his shoulder or anything like that, the ropes in the arm move in a very visibly like strange muscular way, and his arms previously looked kind of big on his frame before, but now they look more proportional to his body. And he is 6 feet, I believe, maybe 6'1". I can't quite remember. And he also has a very straightforward, simple tank top and like black tank top, gray shorts, and like fucking Reebok sneakers or some shit to work out in and practice his his heroic fighting training with Lockhart. But this gym, I believe this is one of your assets, Lockhart? It's a private gym, wasn't it?
Nope. It's just a local place we went to.
Oh, okay. But this is a very like very small kind of hole in the wall, chill gym environment that has all the staple gym equipment. It's not a very robust, dramatic place. It's it's not like a a commercial grade gym, but it has a ring, it has gloves and pads, it has boxing, like I can't even remember the word, heavy bags and other things that you can use. But on this particular night, Lockhart, you meet Marcus as he is originally going to jump right on the treadmill and begin running, and pull him into the ring. He is looking very, very nervous, but is following you, not sure how this is going to go. Is there any last bit of wisdom you want to impart upon Marcus before you spar?
Seeing that Marcus is nervous, she kind of hops into the ring and whatnot, and looks at him and says, "There's no point in being nervous. It's just a friendly spar."
Okay, that's it's easy for you to say. You're not the one staring down the experienced fighter here. And he kind of awkwardly shucks on the gloves.
Trust me, during my time training, I've been in your position plenty of times. And I was much younger than you, too.
He just looks more concerned, considering that this is something that she seems to think is normal, or even better than normal. But he will put up his dukes, and we will prepare to fight. So
Let's do it.
Lockhart, go ahead and roll me a quick check. And let me stop this shit. We need something more like this.
Any bonuses that I need to do, or just a quick check?
Hell
Any of your fight bonuses you can use.
Okay. Hang on, this music is very loud. 1 second.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm turning it down.
I pulled up the initiative tracker, like D&D's gonna work. Initiative bonuses are actually a specific thing, not fight
Yeah.
bonuses. What am I talking about?
Okay, so initiative.
Yes.
I'll let him go first.
Okay, so you forfeit the first move to him.
Yes.
Baller.
Roll. Hold on. Do you have the intimidation ability?
Yes.
Okay. So, Marcus, there's a pause as like you. How does Lockhart take the ready stance?
She was actually really casual, and she kind of rolled her injured shoulder a little bit to kind of loosen it up, and then took the I'm waiting kind of stance. She doesn't even take a stance, to be honest. She's prepared. She's prepared. You can tell she's on edge, but she's not taking any particular stance. She's more like ready to dodge, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
A psychological attack.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was gonna say. So there's this point. There's a part like just only the slightest movement where you slide your feet into a slightly more easy to maneuver position and tilt your shoulders just a little bit and then roll your injured shoulder, kind of loosen it up right. And then Marcus is like standing there, his hands are up like he's about to throw a punch, and he's just kind of waiting awkwardly, and he doesn't realize that you have given him the first move for probably like a good 15-20 seconds, and then just goes, me?
Oh my god.
If you kill the boyfriend,
It's very much like a wait, are we going now? Is this really happening? Is it now?
Fights wait for no one. And she'll, I mean, she let him go first. If he's giving up his first turn, she'll go in. She's
Okay.
trying to be polite. Or trying to be helpful here. Give him some kind of advantage.
Okay, if you're going in, roll me a hit. Roll me a martial arts hand-to-hand check. Whatever you got.
Okay. So it's be +3 because bands. That'll be tough. And give me a second while I make sure I'm not missing anything. Minuses. Okay.
Where is it? Where's the roll?
Oh, sorry, I was adding the bonuses. Roll.
Holy shit.
God damn. She's gonna kill
Okay.
him.
So
She's not trying
I want that
to.
twink obliterated.
I swear to God, you kill the boyfriend.
the opening move from Lockhart of just forfeiting it to him, Marcus not really understanding what was happening, like noticed that you were in a fight position, but did not fully interpret how this was going down. And then you say fights wait for no one, and then rush him. You just like instantly close the gap. What was initially a 10-foot wide space, you just hop forward on 1 foot and slide in a position. Throw up your good arm. Do what?
Shoulder bash.
Yeah, you throw up your good shoulder and then like duck on your front knee and then just cave your just put your entire shoulder into his chest. But no fist contact. This is just your body weight hitting him square in the stomach. And then you hear like the telltale like poof, is like all of the wind is knocked out of his chest immediately. And he's sent back like a good 3 or 4 feet. There's the skirt of his feet as they catch on the mat, and then he stagger backwards as he lands on one of the ropes. He's gonna roll to kind of recover himself a little bit. So surprisingly, you hit him a pretty mean hit square in the stomach. Especially for Lockhart, who's coming off of this with a serious wound and basically using just one arm. He is still a lot sturdier than the average person, especially now after having been trained for a good chunk of time. So he hits the mat, or not the mat. He hits the ropes in the net, and then there's a point where he partway through the net's like bending backwards and like prepping him almost like a slingshot. He recovers himself and gets a little bit more composed, and then as it slings him forward, he uses the momentum, and he is going to hit you with, as best at least he's going to try, he's aiming for your like basically center of mass with his elbow. What is your tough defense?
It is 13.
He barely made it. So you're watching Marcus, and he springs forward and takes one good step. His stride is almost, if not longer than yours. He oversteps a little bit. You can see that there's a little bit of a balance issue that would come into play, but as you're kind of switching from analytics mode into fight mode still, you see his elbow come in, and when he wants to hit fast, he's a lot faster than he would seem to be. And his elbow collides almost dead center of your sternum. And the only thing stopping it from hitting and not cracking it or breaking it, but certainly leaving a deep bruise, is your elbow intercepting it just in time. You still will take, for the purposes of this, consider yourself at only 1 wound threshold.
Mhm.
And this big, I'm counting it as a separate non-lethal
Yeah.
series of wounds, so you take the 1 damage from it. But he is going to do that, and then he is going to try and do something probably stupid.
Let's hear
He
it.
is
Let's
going
disappoint the
to
teacher.
yeah. So it's in this moment where you start to see some of the instinctual habits kick in, and this is why you wanted to spar, because when people fight, like all of the brain and the tactics usually go out the window, and it just becomes raw reflex and instinct. And Marcus comes off the ropes, swings an elbow in, very good form, and then immediately starts to go for a wild haymaker swing, like just way out there. And your tough defense is 13, you said? Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Then that, like, this haymaker swing, you've seen this haymaker swing from every, like, pissed off biker gang dude or drunken, like, cowboy at a bar. Like, every dude who's 6 feet or taller and has a little bit of extra weight on their bones thinks that this is, like, the golden seal of fight finishers. And all you do is, like, lean your chin back just a hair's length, and his fist just completely shoots wide. And his face is, like, way overexposed. It will be your move.
Rather than hit him, since he missed, could I, as my action, put my leg out and push into his shoulder to basically knock him down? So kind of dodge out of the way, push him over my leg, kind of thing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I will say that you, this will go against his quick defense because you're not trying to just brute hit him in the face.
Okay. Let's roll. Wait. And I'm gonna boost this one. he needs to learn.
Make sure he gets hit hard. Oh, holy
Legacy,
shit.
how you feeling?
Okay.
Hey there,
So-
Champ. How you holding up?
So this, again, you've seen this time and time again. It is like a slow motion replay you have watched from every angle. So his haymaker just goes completely wide. He's throwing it with his not his power hand, so it's already kind of sloppy. And all you do is take your front foot, turn your heel a little bit, and stick your toes out, and then just push on his shoulder, and he just goes completely ass over tea kettle, and you hear the full 205 pounds of muscle thump on Matt, just, and he lands flat on his back and is just staring up at you, totally surprised at how that happened. Like somehow gravity flipped upside down for a half second, and now he's on the ground.
What have I told you about hits like that?
Not to do them.
Have you completely ignored our training? Has this been pointless?
No, it's not been pointless. And he rolls onto his side and starts to get up. Are you gonna let him get up?
Yeah, she'll let him get up.
He gets up and just kind of rights himself. just kind of rolls his neck a little bit and puts his hands back up and goes right back into his form. He's gotten good at staying in not staying in form, obviously, but he's gotten good about knowing like how to get into a good fighting position. You don't have to correct him on like where to put his hands or how to tuck his chin down or keep his legs decently far apart. It's that part seems to have been instinctually ingrained in him, but like the swinging the fist part, that's going to be the focus of the next stint of training. You feel it's your move.
Okay. She will go in and she's going to swing at him. Well, okay. Since he's getting up and not trying to let him get too much breathing room, because she's letting him get up as it is, she will go into another shoulder bash.
Okay, cool. Roll me a tough check for the hit. Okay. So Marcus is going to use one of his prep.
NPCs have prep, huh?
Some of them do. Not all of them, but some of them do. The important ones do. So you go for the shoulder bash, and Marcus, now having seen this move, is starting to learn. There's the student has still a lot to learn, but he's getting there. So you close in with the shoulder bash, and you watch Marcus just shell up Captain America behind the shield style with his forearms, and you can see him holding up behind his arms, and the only little part of him you can see peeking out from behind it, aside from his legs, is his eye. You have to stop yourself from just running straight into a just metal wall of fiber, and you slow down your like forward motion just a little bit so that you don't hurt yourself, but you still hit. Marcus doesn't move at all. He is stock still on the ground. There's not even like a skirt of like heel being moved against the mat. And he is going to shove you forward. So he takes one step forward and pushes, like, it's not really even him pushing outward so much as the sheer weight of him moving forward and using his like excessive amount of size to leverage against you just pushes you backwards. In a raw shoving match, Marcus would win, but this isn't really just a shoving match. But he's starting to get a feel for what he can and can't do. So now he is going to go through and just do a very standard. That's really bad. That it's really disappointing because I was like, this will be a good time for him to show how he's learned. He pushes Marcus pushes Lockhart away, and then you can see him position his front foot and then kick onto his back foot, and he is taking a power stance as he throws a really, really solid, perfectly straight like power punch, right? He's throwing his right straight, and it is very well done, but it's so extraordinarily telegraphed, and you know how long his reach is, so you just don't move, and his fist just doesn't reach you, and he kind of only realizes it as his like fist extends that it's not going to reach. And so he's like, and then immediately pulls his arm all the way back and then shells up again. He rolled so badly. He did not critically fail. If he critically failed, he would have fallen over again because I would have found it funny. But there's no shot that would hit you.
Well, since this is apparently the lesson for today, before he could chill up, could I grab his arm and pull him again over her leg?
Sure, make me another quick. This one will be a quick check against his quick defense because you are having to act. He's actually quite fast at retracting his arms,
Okay.
but I still imagine you're probably fast enough to catch him.
I hope so.
So it would be just like a standard melee attack, but you are using your quick instead of your tough.
Okay. And would the bare bones still count here?
Yes.
Because it's +2 on any toughness rolls.
Oh, then
Yeah.
no, it wouldn't.
Mm.
But you also have to. You will
Yeah.
also probably be his quick defense is not going to be as high as yours still.
I'll try it. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. That is his quick defense. So you like his fist is starting to retract backwards, and you just catch it with your wrist and lift it up, duck underneath his arm, and his arm over your opposite shoulder. You whip him around, and he just goes again, ass over tea kettle, and just this time with way more force behind it, and slam him into the mat. And now he's a little bit less surprised, but like there's a little bit of like just sweat and spit on his face from how he hit the ground so hard and kind of coughed. And he's just staring at the ceiling, kind of dumbfounded, like, blinks for a second. I missed.
Yes, you did. Good observation.
He is going to roll onto his stomach and start to get up again. And are you letting him get up this time?
When he is halfway up, she will go in for a strike.
Okay. Go for it. Roll to hit.
That's a bad roll.
Woo! Okay. So you swing. How are you going to hit him? Are you kicking him, or are you going to go for a punch? Or a body slam, or what?
Go for a kick.
Mm-hmm. So he's about halfway up. One knee has only just lifted off of the ground, and he like your foot starts to come forward, and he looks up just soon enough to see it, and then realizes like, oh shit, that's right. Like I'm still going to be hit if I'm on the ground, and only just like panic rolls to the side, which kind of throws him back onto his hands and knees, but he does manage to get out of the way of the kick and is just like, oh, okay, and then rolls onto his back and rolls like kind of double over until he gets a little bit of a swing and then stands up with a little bit of a wobble, but is upright. And he's going in now. He's going to try and strike with... He's going to try to copy you. So he watches your like foot stamp on the ground, and he takes 2 quick strides forward, and he'll tuck behind his shoulder and hold his other arm up to kind of block his face, and he is going to shoulder check you. Which the side he's on it would be your bad arm. He's not really aware of it, but this will probably hurt you a lot. Maybe not mechanically, but still, like,
yeah.
this is like he's
No.
just going harder on it.
No.
No.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly.
Okay. So you just strictly, like, he goes full charging in, and you just almost like a pirouette on your back foot. You push off of your front where your kick had landed, and you spin backwards, and you hear the like stomp of Marcus as he runs by, and then the gust of wind as he passes you, and then as you turn and come to a stop, he has not like hit the ropes and bounced off of them, but skidded to the other side of the ring. And even though he missed, he does not seem deterred. He's now in like a focused position. So he is going to, let's see, what is he going to do? He's going to just bide his time. He is going to use another prep, and you can see his from his typical like kind of boxer stance, his hands go out a little bit, and he opens his like the palm of his gloves up, and he's now, this is what you would recognize as more of a grappling stance.
Okay. I mean, it's his move, isn't it? Or is his move going into
That
the
was-
stance?
That was his move with trying to shoulder check you, but you dodged it. So now it is your move, and he has used like the remaining part of his potential turn to move into like he is looking. He's like preparing for you to close so that he can try to grapple.
Okay. I'll go in and okay, so this is the goal, is to get in and just go with a strike, honestly. Go strike into the stomach area.
Okay.
Like, I was thinking of scent, but like quick isn't my best thing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just try and go for the stomach. Kind of take
When-
the power stance for Baji Kwong, and then like stomp forward and kind of go for the punch, kind of like what you did with the PMC.
Yeah, go for it. Marcus doesn't have any armor on his chest, so you can just go straight for his gut.
You know, not murder him. Hopefully.
Not murder him,
Knock
Not
the wind
murder
out of
him,
though, hopefully.
but that definitely hit. His boosted defense is still too low. That's sad. So you like watching him go into a grappler stance. You see his arms fold out and open up. He's going to try to grab you, and most situations, people would see that and start to kind of get a little bit of get kind of nervous, where they're like, "Oh fuck, what do I do? If I get too close, he's going to grab me." But you know that he's not a practiced fighter. He's probably not going to be fast enough to grab you if you're as fast as you typically are. So you're just going to bank on the side of you're generally faster than him, and probably get out of this scot-free. So you slide a foot back into the Baji Quan stance and hold one arm out, and off of your rear foot, you, only for the slightest bit of movement, bend and launch yourself forward, and your body has now, like, as you kick off, there's enough distance for you to build up a good amount of speed and momentum you narrow your body into as close as you can get to the human form of a lance and slide into position with your fist out, and then you punch. Your fist goes out. At this point, you've closed the distance and you are inside of his grappling range. But just like you predicted, he does not have the reflexes for this yet. And you could see his eyes like lock onto you, and he's realized it is way too late. And then you snap and twist your fist and just crunch into his stomach. And you don't feel anything break, but you definitely feel like the push of air and then the little bit of an extra as you completely knock the wind out of him. And he doesn't move. His body is like thrown at the end of your fist. He takes a good like half step back, but you pull your hand back from the punch, and there's just a like tiny pupil Marcus like staring dumbfounded at the ground where you were, and he falls on one knee and then falls on the other knee and then just slowly curls onto the ground. And you can hear him just breathing very, very softly.
This will not do at all. She sighs and kind of relaxes her stance a bit.
You can hear just the tiny like whisper of just keep going. He's not standing up, but he thinks he can keep going. You don't have to roll threat assessment. He can't keep going.
Yeah.
Kick his lights out.
I'm gonna do a chaos roll.
Yo!
Oh.
Sorry.
Break the boy. Break
Oh, God.
the boy.
Play for Marcus.
Break the boy.
So how is he's kind of fetal position then on the ground?
He is on his hands and knees, and he's looking up at you with like kind of somewhere between like hazy and wide eyes. And he's trying to pant, but he can't really get a lot of air to pant.
Iris.
Yeah.
Legacy is like.
Can you
worry.
feel what I am wanting to do to you right now?
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not killing him. He just needs to learn his lesson. That's all. So
You better pray to God whatever bruise you're about to leave on him, he does not see legacy before it fades.
So she did the stomach hit, and he fell down, and he said she was going to stop, full on, but he said keep going,
Yep. He did say keep going.
and she's going to do the elbow down behind his neck.
WrestleMania.
Like no. Just like a downward bash kind of thing.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm suddenly vastly more disappointed.
So
No.
just
So
Like-
essentially, how I'm imagining this is he's
Uh-huh.
on his hands and knees kind of thing, or like panting. She's going to go down with her elbow kind of towards his shoulder area,
mm-hmm.
and she's going to lean down, so she will end up also on her knees kind of thing, or on one knee, but putting all her weight into it. So
Mhm.
his shoulder is going to be fucked.
Okay. So you like take one good stride over to him, slide one foot up and then one foot back, and as you're moving your feet apart, you'd bring the weight of your elbow down and kind of smash into his shoulder. It's a metal shoulder, and it hurts you, but your elbow at this point it has the calloused toughness of years of doing this sort of shit. So you crash into it. There's a ring of like pain that you feel in your elbow, but not again, not enough to wound you in any way. And immediately, or not, well, not immediately. There's a half second where you hit, and then you feel Marcus just like, and then that arm like starts to buckle, and then it collapses, and he just falls onto the mat. And now you can hear like more panting, and like under his breath, he is saying just like, "I'm done, 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 done."
She is actually going to grab him by his collar, and so he is level with her.
He's very heavy. He's not limp, but he is a heavy person. But you grab him by the collar and lift him.
I can lift 500 pounds.
This is true. I forgot you had that.
Yeah. So she's not lifting him to standing. She's like on one knee bent, and she's pulling him so his face is face to her. If this is honestly the best that you've got, then I am wasting my time. No. If you can't land a hit on me, you would have not stood a chance against what was chasing after your girlfriend the other day.
He like blinks, and there's a bleariness, but there is very much a fire behind those eyes. The spirit is willing, but his body is not wanting to keep up with it. And he like he kind of props himself up on his arm and just goes, and like clears his throat, just coughing a bit now. He's kind of got his breath back, and he's like, "Okay, I know, I'll get there. I just didn't think you'd be so fast."
You underestimated your opponent. I've been teaching you for how long now? And you honestly didn't think I wouldn't be fast.
She like looks up with somewhere between like not wanting to look or not wanting to offend you, but also not wanting to seem stupid, and he just goes, "Not that fast."
Well, lesson learned, I guess.
I'll get better. I'll get better. Oh, he's just there. He was about to stand up all the way, and then he takes one more minute, and then like curls his head all the way down and touches his forehead to the mat, and then like the mat is like a cool, not canvas surface, but like the cool like fake plastic leathery surface. And when he puts his head on it, you can hear him say like, "Ah." How am I supposed to get that fast?
Why do you think I've been trying to build your stamina and focusing more on running rather than what you can and can't lift? You can barely hold yourself up when you go for a punch.
He like starts to set up now, and then rolls onto his butt, and then leans against one of the poles in the ring, and like kind of scoots himself over to the pole and leans against it and just goes, okay, but if I had hit though, it would have probably been good, right?
You have good form for that, but we need to get those wild attacks out of your system.
He nods and just goes, "Is this going to be the new training from now on, or do I still have to run?" This is dealer's choice. Either one is going to like net in the same mechanical benefit. It's just however you want to feel. If you feel like no more, we're gonna quadruple the running, and then turn all of the weight into weight cardio.
It's
Like doesn't
"Run
matter.
as much as you want, just please don't make me run."
Because that was the thing. He hates it. Like it's
He
what he needs to work on. You know.
That's why he hates it. He hates it because he has 2 metal arms, and he hates running because it's like this is hard.
She just looks at him as if pointedly asking, or not saying it, but as if asking, "Are you really asking that right now?"
He like just reading her face for a second and just nods and just goes, "Ah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought." So, are we still gonna meet twice a week, or do I get to take Thursday off because of my stomach? And he like sits up a little bit.
Lockhart is going to pull her like unbutton the top 2 of her shirt and pull down the side of her bandaged shoulder.
There's a half second where you unbutton the top buttons of your shirt, and Marcus turns beet red and is like, "I don't know what's happening."
Injury is no reason to stop.
Like immediately starts nodding and just goes, okay, I guess. See you Thursday.
She'll
Marcus has a dirty mind.
she'll hop out of the ring, grab a water bottle, and like slide it towards him as she walks head to her stuff. Essentially,
He's like takes the water bottle. You slide it towards him. He reaches for it and then kind of knocks it over for a second, and then fumbles, grabs it, and then cracks the lid and takes like huge gulps of water. Thank you.
kind of a hand wave as she's not looking, grabbing her stuff and heading out.
You did it.
Yay!
You have introduced him to what it will be like if he continues to play hero.
He's discovered what kind of monster Lockhart is.
I had a
Like,
line.
he shouldn't know. He watched her beat the shit out of one of
That's
those
true.
PMCs, and then
However-
also watched Kaya crush one of the helmets. He knows what monsters the two of you are.
He did
I'm
not
not
think
a monster.
you were. He did not think Lockhart was. He's like, oh, cool. She's really strong, but I'm strong too, and she's really fast. But she's been teaching me how to be fast too. So I think I. And it's like, no, my dude, you've been here for less than 30 days. You are not that fast. Even
And-
if he was that fast, he doesn't have the reflexes baked into his nerves yet.
And Piper, you don't understand about emotional damage. I had a really good one-liner, but I did not want to break him.
No, tell me.
There-
Tell me.
Is it? Well,
No, say it.
tell
No,
us
no,
the
no,
save it.
players.
No,
It's
tell
beautiful.
us. I want to know. Tell me.
Emotional damage.
No. If we come back into the ring and
Break
there's
him.
and there's an issue. No.
Damn.
There will
Break
be.
the boy.
There will be. I want you to save that line because it is fucking ruthless.
It is.
That is
But
a huge oof. That will, like, if you said it to him when he had no gas left in the tank like he did, it would have broken his spirit. But if you say it to him when there's a little bit of gas left in it, and you like hit that fiery part of his soul, then you'll get some results. But other than that, you might just break him emotionally.
Yeah. That's why I left it out.
Okay.
Plus, I could hear Z. I could feel Z. In the corner.
Ignore the stairs, break them.
Ignore
Oh,
the
it's-
Z holding a baseball bat.
It's not the stairs. It's the like energy just wrapping around her throat right now and starting to squeeze.
The temperature in the air is starting to rise from anger.
Legacy's gonna force choke Lockhart.
If anyone wants to sit, it'd probably be Legacy, honestly. Maybe not
I'm
Sid, but
glad-
if anyone was force sensitive, it would be fucking Legacy.
I am
Yeah.
also very glad because when you said I'm gonna take my elbow, I was like, please don't hit him in the neck. You will hurt him. It won't kill him, but it's gonna be sad to narrate. But you hit him in the shoulder. I was like, okay, that's gonna hit him and knock him onto the ground. But his shoulder's metal. That's at least a tiny
I
victory
was
for
kinda
him.
aiming for like the shoulder and neck area, like both. So
Yeah.
the point was to leave a good lump that he'll feel.
Mhm.
It'll be sore. At
It'll
the
be
Mission
very
accomplished.
least.
Yeah. No, you got it.
You gotta learn somehow. Hence why I boosted the other roll.
I was excited to narrate the fight because I was anticipating, like, halfway thinking like, okay, cool, Marcus is going to be like really way more competent now, and it's like, no. he's learning, and it's very clear that he's learning, but he is a white belt.
His roles were not cooperating.
This is
Mhm.
also true. His one good punch that he could have thrown, he rolled a 4.
Ugh.
That's I was like, okay, cool. He's got everything going for him. He's like had his moment of being too cocky. He's had his moment of not being sure. This is where he puts all of his stuff into practice, and he missed.
You know what? It's his first time going against Lockhart.
Hmm.
Boy's nervous.
Yes, he was.
doesn't know
He
what
was
to
very nervous.
Yeah. Next time he'll be prepared. He's like, if I don't dodge, this shit's gonna hurt.
It's only up from here.
Hmm.
Started from the bottom, and
But we
he
here.
now he's a little bit up higher than the bottom. But it can only go up.
I imagine though if he was against the standard street thug though.
Oh,
He
I'm
would-
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm sure that any random schmuck, any random mook or street thug, he can kick their ass easily.
He could just outstrength them, period.
Yeah.
And that's what she's trying to teach him, that you can't just outstrength your enemy.
Even with his training, though, I'm sure with like a thug, like level 1 crook, he could take care of pretty easily.
Level 1 cook, level 50 crime boss.
Yeah.
No,
a level 1
you're
crook he can
totally
take
right.
care of
If
easily.
it was Marcus in a 1v1 versus like one of the Terabyte boys, he would absolutely wipe the snot, beat the snot out of that kid. But
Mhm.
versus 3 of them, he would not do well.
Yeah, but one-on-one,
he-
you can take care of him.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
this is also Lockhart trading him. Lockhart's like, oh, okay, you want to be a fucking superhero? I'm gonna treat you like I'm a supervillain then.
You say that knowing exactly what you're saying, Joe.
Yes.
I gotta, I gotta build his confidence a little bit. Gotta knock him down a few pegs so he'll rise back up twice as fast.
I will say for all of the gruffness that Lockhart gives him, there is the only moment of weakness that she has ever seen with Marcus in this is the earnest moment of weakness, not like I hate cardio or whatever. Like the earnest moment of weakness is in the moments where he feels like he won't be able to do it. But even in the fight, even during this absolute like basically total shutdown for him, he was not completely out of hope. He was still fighting, and he's like, I can do this. I can do this. His body was giving up on him, and he's just like, okay, all right. Every warning light is going off right now. Systems are red. Pressures are reaching red lines. I got this.
Hey.
It'll make it all the more juicy when he successfully doesn't get his ass just completely whipped by Lockhart.
I wasn't expecting him to completely be shut down. I thought there would be some resistance.
There's enough resistance. There's enough resistance there that he definitely has learned and become far more capable, but he is nowhere near Lockhart, mind you. I did give him some fighting abilities, though. That's the other thing, is I gave him 2 fighting abilities. Well, one that has kind of 2 functions. And that is what he can use his prep on. He has 3 prep.
Oh.
It basically is his tortoise shell defense, where he can shell up behind his arms to boost his defenses.
And that's really smart, too.
Mm-hmm.
Lockhart, next time she sees him, we'll give him a thumbs up on that.
Good guard, good guard. If he ever gets too sad and he needs encouragement, Lockhart could just call up Kaya, being like, hey, can you spar with Marcus real quick? He needs a confidence booster. Kaya has a +1 to brawling, and that's it. That's all she's got. She is your random person on the street who can just throw a punch in a bar fight.
This is, I will say, Marcus has passed where Kaya would be.
Yeah, exactly. So if he needs a confidence booster, he saw what Kaya could do. He is now better than Kaya.
He is still very scared of Kaya, because Kaya radiates big, strong energy, whereas he does not understand his own size and imposingness.
I mean, she's like either the same height or like an inch taller than him, right?
Yeah, I think they're exactly the same height, which is why he finds her intimidating, because she's as tall as him, but like she is like hard ass engineer who's chewing gum and has the rough accent, and he's just like, oh no, she means business.
Well, and Legacy did nothing to help that impression when he first met Kaya either.
Yep. Correct.
Legacy was the one who gave him that impression.
Yep. Correct.
Kaya was just playing fucking a racing game on her phone, and Legacy was doing all that shit. Using her as an intimidation prop. She wasn't paying attention to what they were doing.
Kaya has never told her to not and to stop, and so she's going to keep doing it. Except now she has a Lockhart, which she will do that with too.
Like,
but Lockhart's not around as much as Kaya.
So
Kaya's got the rough accent. Oh, no.
That is he is very intimidated by Kaya because of the way she talks and how like stereotypically tough that accent comes off to him as.
But no, he's better than her now. If he ever needs a confidence booster, like Lockhart can just call Kaya up.
But I think that is a good place to end it, and I will leave you all with the task of, we are in now a nice recess period of chill time. So
Mhm.
if you all have some things you want to work on or do in character, you can do so. And every session, we will catch up on things you all have done on a mechanical level, like how many days you worked, if you invented something, what you invented, or whatever. And then we'll have a couple of random fun narrative encounters because I am really excited for the one that I got for Kaya and Legacy.
I guess we'll
And
start
then
with that next time since the two of us didn't RP at all today.
yes,
So and
I'm sorry.
we can finish introducing the main cast to Cody.
This is true. It feels like the session was
Well, we
so short today.
started an
Well, we did
hour
start.
late because we not
Yeah,
only
this is
did we
true.
not we pushed it back to 8, and then we really didn't actually start until like after 8:30.
That explains it.